Found in a dresser in an old house, purchased in Piemonte, Italy, this object resembles a casket or small box, but feels heavy and solid, not hollow. One side appears metallic, while the other feels like stone. It's about 19 cm long and doesn't seem to open, despite its box-like shape. Found alongside 1970s clothes, adobe secret razor kit, and silverware. What could this heavy, solid stone and metal object be? This object is identified as a sharpening stone, likely a combination stone housed within a protective case or base, which gives it the casket-like appearance. Sharpening stones, also known as whetstones, are used to sharpen the edges of blades, such as knives or razors, fitting with the discovery of a WW razor kit nearby. Combination stones often feature two different grits, coarseness levels, one side for coarse sharpening and the other for fine honing, which could explain the different materials felt. The metallic side might be the case or a coarser stone material. Found on an old farm, this tool consists of a stone block with holes drilled into it, attached to a wooden handle. Its appearance is rustic and utilitarian. What could this combination of stone and wood be used for? The stone suggests sharpening or abrasion, while the handle implies manual work. This tool appears to be a specialized implement used for preparing and waxing cross-country skis. Ski waxing often involves applying glide wax and then structuring the base for optimal performance in different snow conditions. The stone block, possibly with varying grits or patterns related to the holes, could be used for cleaning the ski base, smoothing applied wax, or creating a specific structure on the base after waxing. The wooden handle provides grip for applying pressure and control during the process. Spotted in a work gym, this piece of equipment is roughly the length of a workout bench and stands a little under waist height. It's made of metal, painted white, and features a green padded area. Its specific configuration isn't fully detailed, but its presence in a gym suggests it's for exercise. What type of workout is this bench designed for? This piece of gym equipment is identified as a back extension bench, or hyper-extension bench. To use it, you typically position yourself face down, hooking your legs or ankles under the padded bar or rollers. Your hips rest on the main green pad. From this position, you hinge forward at the hips, lowering your upper body towards the floor, and then raise it back up by contracting your lower back, glute, and hamstring muscles. It's an effective exercise for strengthening the posterior chain, particularly the lower back. This heavy metal piece, covered in a black plastic-like layer, fell off a 2014 VW Tiguan while driving. It's clearly part of the vehicle, but doesn't seem to match the diameter of the main suspension springs. What specific component could this be? Its failure while driving suggests a critical part. This object is identified as a piece of a broken coil spring from the car's suspension system. Coil springs support the vehicle's weight and absorb shocks from the road. While it might not match the diameter of the main part of the spring, springs often taper or have varied coil spacing, and they typically break near the ends. Coil spring failure is a known issue on some vehicles, including VWs as noted. The black layer is likely a protective coating applied to the spring. A broken spring is a serious issue affecting vehicle handling and safety. Found in a house, this small white object consists of two plastic pieces held open by a spring between them. Its design suggests it's meant to clamp onto or hold something, likely a cord or string, using the spring tension. What is this small, spring-loaded plastic device? This small, spring-loaded plastic item is commonly known as a cord lock or toggle stop. It's designed to be used with drawstrings, typically found on clothing, like jackets, hoodies, jogging bottoms, bags, like backpacks or laundry bags, or other items requiring adjustable cords. You squeeze the two plastic pieces together, compressing the spring, which opens the holes in the center. You then thread the ends of the drawstring through the holes. Releasing the plastic pieces allows the spring to clamp down on the cord, holding it securely at the desired length. Found in the top rack of a dishwasher in a new apartment, this object is made of steel. Its edges are described as pointy but not quite sharp. The initial guess was a cuticle remover, A TV remote is used for scale. What is this small, potentially pointy steel tool, likely related to personal grooming or kitchen use? The initial guess is correct. This small steel tool is identified as a cuticle pusher, a common manicure and pedicure implement. One end is typically flat and curved to gently push back the cuticles, the skin at the base of the nail, while the other end might be pointed or shaped for cleaning under the nails or removing stubborn bits of skin. Being made of steel, it's durable and easily sanitized, which might explain how it ended up in the dishwasher, likely for cleaning after use. Found in a jewelry bundle from an op shop, thrift store, this silver item is about 3 centimeters long and has a marble seemingly captured inside. It bears hallmarks indicating sterling silver, origin, Finland, and a maker's mark, an arrow. However, it lacks any obvious pin or loop for attachment, making it unclear how it would be worn. What is this intriguing silver and marble piece? Despite the lack of an obvious loop, this item is identified as a pendant. It is specifically noted as likely being modeled after or similar to a known design, referenced by a link in the original discussion, though not provided here. Pendants can sometimes have hidden bails or loops, or they might be designed to be threaded directly onto a chain or cord through openings in the structure itself. The hallmarks confirm its quality and origin, making it a piece of Finnish silver jewelry, likely designed by a recognized artist or company. This object features copper elements emerging from it, feels fairly weighty, and appears to be filled with something, possibly more copper, running through its core. Its construction suggests it's related to electrical wiring or cabling designed to connect or terminate wires. What specific type of electrical component could this be? Based on the description of visible copper, weight, and internal material, this object likely represents some form of cable splice or termination. Cable splices are used to join 2 or more electrical cables together, ensuring a secure and conductive connection. They often involve layers of insulation, shielding, and conductive materials, like copper, and can be quite dense and heavy, especially for larger power or communication cables. The visible copper could be the conductors themselves or part of the shielding or grounding system within the splice. Found inside the driver's side door panel of a 2016 Ford Focus in the UK, this circular clip is located below the window controls, possibly where rear window buttons might otherwise be. It looks designed to hold something cylindrical. Neither the owner nor the dealer knew its purpose. What could this clip inside the door panel be for? This clip is suggested to be a holder specifically for a car window glass breaker, shark seatbelt cutter emergency tool. These tools are often cylindrical or pen-shaped and are designed to be kept within easy reach of the driver in case of an accident where windows need to be broken or seatbelts cut for escape. Placing a dedicated clip in the door panel provides a secure and accessible mounting point for such a safety device. It's an aftermarket edition or perhaps a feature included in certain trims or regions. Acquired from an antique shop where it was labeled, "What is this?" This object feels like solid brass and consists of 2 main pieces that screw together. An offset screw is also present, threading into a hole that seems solely for that purpose. Its weight and symmetrical shape hint at a measuring or alignment function. What could this intriguing brass device be? This brass object is identified as a plumb line or pendulum weight, often called a plumb bob. Plumb bobs are used to establish a true vertical line, a plumb line. A string or wire is attached to the top, likely threaded through the hole in the top half and secured somehow, perhaps involving the offset screw, and the weight is allowed to hang freely. Gravity pulls it straight down, providing a precise vertical reference for construction, surveying, or setting up machinery. The 2-piece construction might allow for internal adjustment or simply be part of the design. Bought at a flea market in Pennsylvania, this wooden object resembles a stamp, but seems potentially related to cooking or baking. Its shape suggests it's used for pressing or tamping something down into a container or mold. What specific kitchen task might this wooden stamp be used for? This wooden item is identified as the plunger component of a hand-cranked nut grinder. Vintage nut grinders often consisted of a glass jar base, a grinding mechanism on top with a hand crank, and this wooden plunger. The user would feed nuts into the top hopper and use the wooden plunger to safely push the nuts down towards the grinding mechanism while turning the crank, without risking their fingers. It's a specific part of an old-fashioned kitchen gadget for chopping nuts. This object is described as a foam holder of some sort, attached to a long lanyard designed to be worn around the neck. What could this foam holder on a lanyard be intended for? The foam suggests insulation or protection, and the lanyard implies hands-free carrying. This item is identified as a wine glass koozie or holder designed to be worn around the neck. The foam holder is shaped to snugly fit the base and bowl of a standard wine glass, providing some insulation to keep the wine cool and potentially offering minor protection. The lanyard allows the wearer to carry their wine glass hands-free, which is particularly popular at festivals, outdoor events, parties, or wine tastings, where people might be mingling, eating, or needing their hands for other things. Found slightly buried in a muddy area of a London park, the small metal object is circular and pointed, measuring 5 cm tall and 3.5 cm wide at its broadest. It appears broken off at the base and consists of 5 circular sections. Its weight suggests it's solid metal. Google suggested a furniture finial, but no exact match was found. What could this decorative metal piece be? This decorative pointed metal piece is identified as the top or finial from an iron fence post. Cast iron fences, common in parks and around properties, especially historically, often feature decorative elements like this capping the vertical posts. The described shape, circular sections, pointed top, and material, heavy, likely cast iron, are characteristic of such finials. Being found buried in a park suggests it broke off an old fence nearby and was eventually covered by mud and time. Dug up during a fence installation in central Minnesota, this large object resembles a pipe made of pink and gray material. The pink part seems water-soluble. Writing on it possibly includes max RPM. What could this unusual pipe-like object with distinct material properties and markings be? Its composition and markings hint at an industrial or mechanical origin. This object is identified as a centerless grinding wheel. Centerless grinding is an industrial process used to shape cylindrical parts. The wheels are large, abrasive components used in specialized grinding machines. They are often made from bonded, abrasive materials, which could explain the pink and gray appearance and potential water solubility of the bonding agent. The max RPM marking is crucial safety information, indicating the maximum rotational speed the wheel can handle without risk of shattering. Finding one buried suggests it was discarded industrial waste. Observed, placed alongside roads, in grassy areas for miles and in various parts of town, are these wooden boards. Their appearance coincided with a period of heavy rain. What is the purpose of these seemingly temporary wooden boards laid out on the grass near roads? These wooden boards, or sometimes heavy-duty plastic mats, are ground protection mats. They are commonly used by utility companies or construction crews, especially those working with heavy vehicles like bucket trucks or cranes needed for overhead line work, power, telecom. When the ground is soft or wet, like after heavy rain, these mats distribute the vehicle's weight over a larger area, preventing the heavy equipment from sinking into the grass, creating deep ruts or damaging lawns and verges. They provide temporary stability and access. Found in some gravel, this very small, round metal item features a design depicting a gymnast or dancer. A fork is used for scale, indicating its tiny size. What could this miniature decorative metal piece be? It seems too small for a coin or token, and the design suggests it might be part of clothing or an accessory. This tiny decorated metal piece is likely a decorative cord stop or cord lock, probably from a drawstring on an item of clothing. These are often found on things like hoodies, jackets, backpacks, or athletic wear, like dancewear or gym clothes, fitting the gymnast or dancer motif. The drawstring passes through the hole, says, in the stop, which can then be slid and held in place, sometimes via a spring mechanism, sometimes just friction, to tighten or loosen the cord. This one seems purely decorative, adding a small embellishment. Acquired from a thrift store, this cabinet features a tilt-out drawer. Inside the drawer, mounted on the back panel, are 3 tube-like holders. The 2 tubes on the right have cross-shaped openings at the bottom. What are these 3 tubes inside the tilt-out drawer designed to hold? Their specific shapes and number suggest a dedicated purpose. A hairstylist identifies this piece precisely. It's a blow-dry, or hairstyling tool, cabinet notch holder. The 3 tubes are designed to securely store common heated styling tools. They typically hold a blow dryer, a curling iron, and a flat iron, straightener. The specialized openings, like the cross-shaped ones, might accommodate specific plug shapes or allow heat to dissipate. These cabinets are common in salons and homes, providing organized and heat-resistant storage for frequently used styling appliances, often incorporating power strips inside. This wooden item stands about 3 feet high and features several adjustable pieces. Notably, it includes a basket-like component and something resembling a music stand. What is the purpose of this complex wooden stand with adjustable parts, a basket, and a stand? It seems designed for a specific craft or hobby. This intricate wooden stand is identified as a fancy hoop stand used for embroidery, needlepoint, or similar hand-stitching crafts. The main part, with adjustable knobs, is designed to securely hold an embroidery hoop, freeing up the crafter's hands to work on the project. The music stand portion is actually intended to hold the pattern or instruction chart for the design being stitched. The basket provides convenient storage for threads, scissors, needles, and other necessary supplies while working. It's an all-in-one workstation for serious stitchers. Bandage. This item resembles some type of griddle pan, but comes with a unique pressing lid or top component. What is this specific type of pan with a matching press designed for cooking? The press suggests it's used for flattening or shaping food during the cooking process. This specialized cookware is identified as a sliders pan or press. It's designed specifically for making multiple small hamburger patties, sliders, simultaneously. The bottom pan often has indentations or sections for the individual patties. The top piece is a press, used to flatten the ground meat uniformly into the sections of the bottom pan, ensuring even cooking and consistent slider shape. It streamlines the process of making multiple sliders, often for parties or family meals. Found in the concrete floor of a garage in a 1950s house, possibly in small-town Michigan, is this 24-inch wide hole filled with dirt. Beneath the dirt, there might be clay or metal components. What was the original purpose of this large hole embedded in the garage floor? Its size suggests it wasn't for typical plumbing. This feature is identified as an old floor drain, likely intended for draining liquids from the garage space. In homes from the mid-20th century and earlier, garages often served as workshops or places for vehicle maintenance. Drains like this were installed to handle water from washing cars, spills, or potentially even the dumping of automotive fluids like oil or antifreeze, practices common before environmental regulations became stringent. Covers for these large drains existed, but often rusted away or were lost, leading to them being filled with dirt over time. Located in the thick concrete floor of a small old barn that once housed cows and pigs is this distinct channel. It measures 3 inches deep, 12.5 inches wide, and runs 11.5 feet long. There's no nearby water source connected to it. What was the function of this shallow, wide channel in the barn floor? This channel is identified as a manure gutter or channel, a common feature in older barns designed for housing livestock, particularly dairy cows tied in stalls, stanchions. The channel ran behind the roofs of animals and was designed to collect manure and urine, making it easier to scrape or shovel the waste out of the barn for disposal or use as fertilizer. Its dimensions are typical for this purpose, allowing for easy cleaning with a wide shovel or scraper. Found in an old plastic container filled with random items, mostly sewing supplies, is this odd metal tool. It has some weight to it, and notably, the round end spins freely. Its connection to sewing isn't clear. What is this metal tool with a spinning end? This tool is identified as a vintage pin vise. A pin vise is essentially a small handheld chuck designed to hold very small drill bits, wires, pins, or other slender tools. The round end that spins is typically the collar used to tighten or loosen the chuck jaws, located at the opposite end, clamping down on the inserted item. They are commonly used in model making, jewelry work, electronics, and other crafts, requiring precision handling of tiny components, including potentially some specialized sewing or needlework tasks. This plastic, pen-like electronic device is lightweight, about 15 centimeters long, and features a button and an indicator light. It's connected via a cable to a female DB9 RS232 serial connector. Branded Opticon and labeled Made in Japan, it likely dates from the 80s or 90s and belonged to someone who worked in a warehouse. What is this pen-style device with a serial port connection? This device is identified as an older model barcode scanner or reader, often referred to as a wand scanner. In the era before modern laser or camera-based scanners, these wand types were common. The user would physically swipe the tip of the pen across the barcode. The button likely activated the reading mechanism, and the light indicated a successful scan. The DB9 RS232 connector was a standard serial port used to connect peripherals like this to computers or data terminals, common in warehouse inventory systems during that time period. Found under a kitchen table, this pottery ornament is about the width of a finger and a couple of centimeters high. It features a hole on the back and looks like it snapped off something larger underneath. Its shape is somewhat insect-like. What could this small pottery piece be a part of? This small pottery piece is likely the remnant of a dragonfly or mayfly sculpture or ornament. The description suggests it's the main body and head portion. The hole on the back might have been for mounting, or perhaps where wings were attached, as suggested by the reference to missing wires, Shalsuchun's wings. The part that snapped off underneath could have been the abdomen or legs, or the point where it attached to a base, or larger decorative piece. Insect motifs are common in pottery decoration. Found on a beach in Salerno, Italy, this lightweight metallic object is shaped somewhat like a bracelet, but is too small for an adult wrist, possibly fitting a child. It features decorative-looking crosses and appears handmade due to irregularities. It's non-magnetic and weighs 52 grams. Is it jewelry or something more industrial? Despite resembling a bracelet, this object is identified as a zinc anode, specifically the type used for sacrificial cathodic protection on boat shafts or hulls. These anodes are made of zinc, a metal less noble than the propeller shaft or hull material, like bronze or steel. When immersed in salt water, an electrolyte, the zinc corrodes preferentially, sacrificially, protecting the more critical and expensive metal components from galvanic corrosion. They are often shaped like collars or bracelets to clamp around shafts and need periodic replacement as they get consumed. Received by a grandfather years ago, this round film is stored in an envelope labeled Family History. The owner is concerned about degradation and wants to know if it's audio or video and what equipment is needed to play it. What type of media is this likely to be, given its age and film appearance? This round film is identified as audio tape, specifically for use on a reel-to-reel tape deck. Before cassettes and digital media, reel-to-reel was a common format for recording and playing audio, including voice recordings like family histories. The film is actually magnetic tape wound onto a reel. To play it, you would need a functioning reel-to-reel tape player, jar, recorder, compatible with the reel size and tape width. While degradation is possible over time, professional services can often digitize these tapes to preserve the content. Embedded in the pavement, this white metal object is bell-shaped, standing about 2 feet tall and 2 feet across. What is the purpose of this sturdy, bell-shaped structure set into the ground, typically near curbs or corners? It seems designed to withstand impacts. This object is identified as a bell bollard. Bollards are short posts used to control traffic or protect structures. The distinctive feature of a bell bollard is its shape. The wide, sloping base is designed so that when a vehicle's wheel strikes it, the wheel is deflected downwards and away, minimizing damage to both the bollard and the vehicle, especially tires and axles, compared to hitting a vertical post directly. They are often placed at corners or near walls to prevent vehicles from mounting the curb or striking buildings. If you love uncovering strange and mysterious objects, hit that like button and subscribe. Stay curious. More finds coming soon.